Did you know that more than 80% of people who use baking soda have no idea about the most dangerous ways it can affect their health? That's right. This everyday kitchen staple, costing just pennies per use, is quietly sitting in millions of homes, not just hiding its potential benefits, but also its hidden risks. In fact, many health experts warn that misusing baking soda could quietly harm your body, especially as you age. Think about that. How many times have you sprinkled baking soda into your shoes, your fridge, or even your water without once wondering if it could actually do damage? What if I told you that this simple white powder, while powerful, has certain uses that should never be tried, especially by seniors? Why isn't anyone talking about this? And what dangers are we unknowingly inviting into our lives? In this video, we'll uncover 3 dangerous uses of baking soda that older adults should avoid at all costs, and then we'll explore 3 safe, effective ways to use it for better health. I'll also explain who should be especially careful and why moderation matters. If you're over 60 and care about your well-being, you won't want to miss this. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 3. Dangerous ways to use baking soda. Absolutely do not try if you are over 60 years old. 1. Drinking baking soda daily without medical guidance. For something so common, so seemingly innocent, baking soda has found its way into countless home remedies. And one of the most dangerous myths circulating today is the idea that drinking a daily glass of water mixed with baking soda is a cure-all. The internet is full of bold claims. It detoxifies your body. It balances your pH. It prevents disease. But for older adults, especially those over 60, this daily habit can quietly become a serious threat to your health. At first glance, it seems harmless. After all, baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is just a simple white powder. But that simplicity is deceptive. Behind the scenes, every teaspoon carries about 200 milligrams of sodium, nearly half of the recommended daily limit for seniors. And unlike salt that you taste and control in your meals, this sodium slips past your awareness straight into your bloodstream. As we age, our bodies naturally lose efficiency in managing fluid and mineral balance. The kidneys, our filters, often weaken, and the heart may already be under strain. By introducing high doses of sodium through baking soda, you force your body into a battle it may not win. The results? Elevated blood pressure, fluid retention, swelling in the legs and hands, shortness of breath, and even congestive heart failure in vulnerable individuals. The price you pay isn't always immediate. It's not a dramatic collapse. It can be slow, silent, and insidious. One day, it's a little puffiness after a walk. A few weeks later, you're at your doctor's office being told your heart is working too hard, your kidneys aren't filtering properly, and you need more medications to correct the imbalance, all triggered unknowingly by something as simple as a teaspoon of white powder in your morning water. What makes this so tragic is the false promise it comes with. The hope of being proactive, of taking charge of your health, is what draws many seniors to these remedies. But when information is incomplete, or worse, misleading, it can do more harm than good. Seniors deserve better than Band-Aid solutions and viral shortcuts. So if you've been sipping baking soda water every day thinking it's just a home remedy, pause and ask yourself, is this doing more harm than good? Always consult with your doctor before adding baking soda to your routine, especially if you have high blood pressure, heart issues, or kidney disease. In speaking of hidden dangers, there's another everyday use of baking soda that many seniors turn to for cleansing the body.
but it could be one of the riskiest decisions you ever make. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2.
2. Using baking soda to cleanse the body internally. There's a growing trend, often shared through word of mouth or across well-meaning online forums, that encourages people to use baking soda to cleanse the body from the inside out. Some recommend it as a vaginal wash, others as a rectal flush, and a few even suggest rinsing deep inside the nasal passages. The idea behind this? That baking soda, being alkaline, can balance your internal environment and eliminate harmful bacteria. But for anyone over the age of 60, this so-called cleansing ritual can do far more harm than good, sometimes irreversibly. As we get older, the delicate balance of our body's systems becomes even more important to protect. Our natural defenses, like the protective bacteria in the vaginal tract, the mucous membranes of the rectum, or the sensitive linings of the nose, exist for a reason. They are our first line of defense against infection, irritation, and inflammation. When you flush these areas with baking soda solutions, you're not just removing toxins, you're stripping away your body's natural shield. You may not feel the damage right away. That's part of what makes this practice so dangerous. In the moment, it may seem refreshing, even cleansing. But slowly, quietly, you're creating an open door for yeast infections, bacterial overgrowth, chronic irritation, and in some cases, long-term damage to the mucosal lining. Seniors, especially those with weaker immune responses, are even more vulnerable to these complications. The price you pay isn't always dramatic, but it is deeply personal. It could be a sudden bout of infection that leaves you uncomfortable, embarrassed, or needing antibiotics. It could be ongoing irritation or discomfort that doctors struggle to treat. It could be the feeling of losing control over something as intimate and private as your own body. And all of it, every part, could have been avoided. Here's the hardest part to accept. The people promoting these cleanses often have good intentions. They believe in natural health. They want to feel better, feel cleaner, feel younger. But intention doesn't equal safety. And in the world of natural remedies, what works on the outside doesn't always belong on the inside, especially when it comes to the fragile tissues of a senior body. So if you've ever been tempted to try a baking soda rinse down there, or flush something inside because someone said it worked wonders, please pause. Ask yourself if this is truly wise for your body at this stage in life. Your organs don't need to be scrubbed. They need to be respected. But not all dangers come from what we do inside the body. Some risks are hiding in plain sight, in everyday habits around the house, and one of them could be quietly damaging your lungs without you even knowing it.
3. Inhaling baking soda powder, a hidden risk for aging lungs. Baking soda may look harmless, just a soft, fine powder tucked away in your pantry. But when it becomes airborne, especially during cleaning or deodorizing tasks, it can turn into an invisible threat. For seniors, particularly those with respiratory sensitivities, lung conditions, or simply the natural effects of aging, inhaling baking soda powder can quietly erode your health, one breath at a time. It usually begins with good intentions. Maybe you're sprinkling baking soda on a carpet to absorb odors, or shaking some into your mattress to freshen it up. You might even mix it with vinegar to scrub a stubborn stain. But in that moment, with the dust floating in the air, you may be inhaling tiny alkaline particles that your lungs were never meant to handle. Unlike steam or mist, powder doesn't dissolve easily once it enters your airways. Instead, it can stick to the delicate lining of your bronchial tubes, triggering irritation, coughing fits, or a persistent tickle in the throat that doesn't seem to go away. For someone with asthma, chronic bronchitis, or COPD, even a small amount of this exposure can provoke a flare-up, reduce lung capacity, or require medical attention. The danger is amplified by silence. You don't always feel the effects right away. That's what makes it so deceptive. There's no harsh chemical smell to warn you, no burning sensation in your nose, but your lungs, which are already more vulnerable as you age, begin to feel the strain. Over time, it can lead to inflammation, increased mucus production, wheezing, or worsened shortness of breath during simple daily activities. The price you pay is your breath. And at this stage of life, every breath is sacred. It's the difference between independence and dependency, between walking down your driveway and needing to stop halfway, between sleeping through the night and waking up gasping. That's not a price anyone should pay for a cleaner carpet or fresher shoes. And here's the hard truth. Many seniors are unaware that even natural products can carry risks when used the wrong way. Because we trust baking soda, and rightfully so, in many safe applications, we often assume all its uses must be harmless. But when powder becomes airborne, it no longer serves your home. It challenges your health. So, what can you do instead? The key is in the form. Choose paste, liquid solutions, or pre-mixed products whenever possible. And if you must work with the dry powder, wear a protective mask, ventilate the room, and avoid using it near your face. Now, you might be wondering, if baking soda can be risky, is it even worth keeping in your home? That's where things get interesting, because next, we'll explore 3 safe, simple, and science backed ways you should be using baking soda, especially if you're over 60. And one of them might just surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 3 ways to use baking soda safely. Elderly people should know. 1. Rinsing your mouth with baking soda for canker sores or sore throat. As we age, even small discomforts, like a sore in the mouth or a scratchy throat, can feel more intense, more intrusive. Eating becomes less enjoyable. Conversations feel strained, and even sipping warm tea can cause irritation. For many older adults, these seemingly minor issues can disrupt daily life in surprising ways. That's why one of the safest, most reliable ways to use baking soda lies not in dramatic cleanses or untested remedies, but in something gentle, local, and healing: a warm baking soda mouth rinse. Baking soda, when mixed with water, becomes a natural alkaline solution that can help soothe inflammation, balance the pH in your mouth, and gently clean the area without stinging or irritating already sensitive tissue. For canker sores, those painful little ulcers that seem to appear out of nowhere, this simple rinse can offer real, noticeable relief. It reduces acidity, calms inflamed tissue, and helps accelerate the healing process. And for sore throats brought on by seasonal changes or mild infections, a baking soda gargle can ease discomfort while helping to reduce microbial buildup. What makes this remedy so powerful is its simplicity. No fancy ingredients, no harsh chemicals, and no side effects when used correctly. Just half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of warm water, swished or gargled gently a few times a day. It's a ritual that's easy to adopt, soothing to experience, and reassuring in its results. More importantly, it's empowering. In a world where older adults are often told to avoid this or be cautious with that, here is something you can do safely, effectively, and from your own kitchen. It reminds us that health isn't always about doing more, but sometimes doing less, with intention. And the best part? Relief often comes quickly. Many seniors who try this method report feeling more comfortable after just a couple of uses. It's a small but meaningful way to take control of your comfort, your healing, and your peace of mind. But the healing power of baking soda isn't limited to just the mouth and throat. In fact, there's another area of the body, one that carries us every single day, where this humble powder can work quiet miracles. And once you try it, you might never want to go a day without it.
2. Soaking your feet in baking soda for relief, cleanliness, and comfort. There's something almost sacred about caring for your feet, especially in your later years. These are the same feet that have carried you through decades of life, long walks, hard work, moments of joy, and even seasons of sorrow. And yet, they are often the most overlooked part of our bodies, tucked away, tolerated, and too often ignored until pain or discomfort demands our attention. But what if something as simple as a foot soak could offer not only physical relief, but emotional grounding as well? A warm foot soak with baking soda isn't just a home remedy, it's a small ritual of care, a way to return to yourself. When you dissolve a few tablespoons of baking soda into a basin of warm water and gently lower your tired feet in, you're giving them a chance to breathe, to heal, and to let go of the pressure they carry. The baking soda helps neutralize odors, soften calloused skin, and most importantly, create an environment that is less friendly to fungal infections, something many older adults quietly struggle with. But the benefit goes deeper than hygiene. For those dealing with athlete's foot, itchy skin between the toes, or the embarrassment of foot odor, this simple soak can restore not only physical comfort but dignity. It's a private, peaceful act that reminds you your body is still worthy of tenderness. Seniors often find that after just 15 to 20 minutes of soaking, the difference is remarkable, not just in how their feet feel, but in how their whole body responds. There's a lightness, a softening, a gentle release. It's also one of the rare remedies that invites you to slow down. No distractions, no devices, just warm water, healing minerals, and silence. In a world that moves too fast, this moment of pause is something your mind and body will thank you for. And when you're done, your feet will feel cleaner, calmer, and more cared for than they have in years, all from a box of baking soda you already have in your pantry. But the power of this humble powder doesn't end at your feet. In fact, there's another everyday use, one that quietly keeps you feeling fresh, confident, and clean without a single drop of artificial fragrance. And it just might change the way you think about personal care.
3. Using baking soda as a natural underarm deodorant are clean, simple, and safe. There's a quiet dignity in feeling clean. For many older adults, personal hygiene isn't just about looking good, it's about preserving self-respect, independence, and confidence. And one of the most sensitive but often overlooked areas of daily care is underarm odor. It may seem small, even trivial, but for someone living alone or attending community gatherings or simply wanting to feel good in their own body, this simple detail matters more than most people realize. That's where baking soda offers something unexpectedly valuable. Used as a natural underarm deodorant, it's not about masking odor with strong perfumes or clogging pores with aluminum-based antiperspirants. Instead, it works by doing something far more elegant. It neutralizes the acids in sweat that bacteria feed on, eliminating odor at its source without harming the skin. And unlike many store-bought products, it does so gently, with no synthetic chemicals, no artificial dyes, no overwhelming scents, just a pinch of dry baking soda, dusted lightly under clean arms, or for those with sensitive skin, a mix of baking soda and a touch of coconut oil can create a soft, soothing balm. The effect is lasting freshness without residue, without irritation, and without worrying about what's being absorbed into your skin. What makes this especially meaningful for seniors is how empowering it feels to use something so simple, so honest, something you can trust. You know what it is, you know what it does, and you know it's not making promises it can't keep. And if you've struggled with skin sensitivity in the past or reactions to commercial deodorants, you'll appreciate how customizable this natural option is. You control the amount, the texture, and the frequency. You're not relying on a brand or a label. You're listening to your own body and responding with care. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you smell clean without smelling artificial. It helps you walk into a room without second guessing yourself, lean in for a hug with a loved one, or sit through an appointment or a long bus ride without discomfort. These little victories of self assurance matter more than most people talk about, but you feel them, you live them. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all, it costs next to nothing. A single box of baking soda can last months. It's simple, accessible, and effective. A small gesture of care that can transform the way you feel in your own skin. But the story of baking soda doesn't end here. In fact, its potential to support our health and even soothe deeper conditions may go further than you think. Because what if something this ordinary could play a quiet role in helping ease the discomfort of something as complex as arthritis? The power of simple things and the wisdom to use them well. As we grow older, life often teaches us a profound truth. It's not always the grand or expensive things that bring the greatest benefits. So see, it's the simple, quiet ones used with care and understanding. Baking soda is a perfect example of that. It's just a humble white powder found in nearly every kitchen across America. It doesn't come in a shiny bottle or promise miracles. But when used wisely, it can help you find relief, comfort, and confidence in everyday life, whether it's soothing your feet after a long day, calming a sore throat, or helping you feel fresh and clean. The value doesn't lie in the ingredient itself, but in how we choose to use it. For seniors especially, this lesson holds deeper meaning. Our bodies change. Our skin becomes thinner. Our systems more sensitive. What worked at 30 may not work, or may even harm us at 70 or 80. And that's okay. It doesn't mean we are fragile. It means we are wiser. We've lived long enough to know that not everything natural is automatically safe, and not everything modern is necessarily better. What matters most is balance, caution, and listening to our bodies. The real power lies in discernment, the ability to tell the difference between helpful and harmful, between what's being sold to us and what actually serves us. And in that way, caring for ourselves becomes an act of quiet wisdom, not reaction, not fear, but thoughtful attention. So here's the lesson. Before you try anything, even something as familiar as baking soda, ask yourself three things. 1. Is this right for my body at this stage in life? 2. Do I understand both the benefits and the risks? 3. Am I doing this out of care or out of fear? When the answer comes from a place of love for your body and your life experience, you're already on the right path. You've lived through decades of change. You've seen trends come and go, but your wisdom, your instincts, and your ability to choose carefully, those are timeless. You don't need to chase every health tip or viral remedy. Instead, focus on what you know to be true, that the simplest solutions, when used with respect, can bring the deepest comfort. Take care of yourself, not just to add years to your life, but to add peace to your years. Your health, your dignity, and your well being are worth that gentle attention. And sometimes all it takes is a box of baking soda and the wisdom to use it well. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life.
Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.